Hey guys, it's Grayson. We're back on our overhead setup today because we are going to do part 2 of my eyeshadow palette collection, and today's brand is going to be Anastasia Beverly Hills. There's not as many palettes for this as there was for ColourPop, but there's still, a few, and I thought the by brand thing was a good idea for brands that I have multiple palettes of. I don't know what order I got these in. It was pretty much in the order of, whenever they were made. But the way I kind of have them organized is by how their packaging is. So like the 2 glitters are back here. These are like some different like textured packaging. These are just like regular cardboard, and then these are the felt. And then I also have some of the artistry palettes. But my very first Anastasia palette was the Soft Glam palette. I remember going at night on Black Friday and buying this, and it's loved. It got a lot of use. It hasn't been used in a minute, but it's gotten a lot of use. It is pretty old. It's probably, a lot of my palettes I will say are probably technically expired, but when it comes to eyeshadows, I don't really believe in all that. If they still work, they still work, and they don't harm me in any way, I would say. But this is a very loved palette. This was like something I got whenever I was first getting into makeup, and I didn't have a ton of palettes, so I used it a lot because it's perfect for a soft glam look. So I absolutely love this palette. I love the original felt packaging on this is like it's not felt, it's like velvet, whatever. But I love this packaging from them. And then my favorite palettes ever, the original Norvina Anastasia palette. I loved that it was the purple velvet, and it's so cute. And one of my, you can see I have the shade Love in here. It has actually hit pan, which it's hard for me, like someone who has so much makeup, to hit pan on anything. And one of my favorite eye looks that I've ever created and have recreated to rewear like over and over and over and over again is a look that I created with this palette, and using the shade Love, and then the shade Passion is also another favorite. But one of my favorite eye looks I've ever created, I created with this palette, and it's just a really good palette. It's beautiful shades. I love that they do have like the pinks and the purples, but not too much. Like everyone was upset that this wasn't more of like a purple palette, and I was actually like thrilled because I felt like it was perfect for me. And that baby pink shade, that Love shade, I don't know, it's just so good. So it's the Norvina palette. The Alyssa Edwards I just had to have because it was like hot pink and gorgeous, and the colors in here were so fun. But if you look at it, you can see it's basically brand new. I did like 1 or 2 looks with this thing, and then I haven't touched it, but it's still in my collection with all my Anastasia palettes. But it is a beautiful palette, and honestly, now that I'm looking at it after a while and I'm more into color now, I honestly would love to like get into this business, and maybe now I will. Now that I'm more into color, I'll get into some of this. Oh, there's me, guys, looking all crazy. Hi. But that is the Alyssa Edwards palette. This is just such cute packaging. I think it's so cute. I don't want this video to be so short, but I'm seeing that I'm going pretty quick. Okay, the Carly Bible. One of my very first eyeshadow palettes ever was her collaboration with BH Cosmetics, and that was a pretty good little palette, and so I was excited when she came out with this. I did not like the packaging. I don't know, this just isn't cute to me. I don't super enjoy it, but I liked the color story. I thought it was super cute, and I've created a couple different looks with this. I really do like that red that's in here, and then these super soft neutral tones are really, really pretty. Anastasia's formula is, very consistent overall, and like their shimmers are amazing. Their mattes blend out really well and are very nicely pigmented. It's just a good formula. So usually whenever they come out with a new palette, I buy it. Oh, and I'm sorry that I try to have it to where y'all are only seeing like my rug and stuff, but you can see like a part of my tripod and then my regular carpet. It's just because the way I have to set this up is not totally like, it's not how it's supposed to be. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm sorry that y'all can see some of this over here. But this is the Carly Bible palette. It is cute. Some of these palettes I've only used like a couple times, which is terrible. But when you're someone who's reviewing makeup and getting new makeup all the time, it's kind of hard. Okay, so I didn't even want this palette, honestly, until I saw it in person. This is the Anastasia Jackie Aina palette, and I don't watch her. I've watched like a video or two from her, but I don't know, I don't watch her. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, guys, did you hear that? That was thunder, like major thunder. I didn't know that it was supposed to rain. Okay. Anyway, Jackie Aina palette. When I saw it in person, the packaging was so pretty, and I was like, okay, pretty. And then I saw the inside of it, and I swatched some of it in Sephora, and you can see I've only used it like once or twice. All my palettes look pretty good anyway. I try to keep them in good condition, but you can really tell the ones that I haven't really messed with. But when I saw this in the store and I swatched it, I was like, wow, this is really pretty, and I don't have it, so like, whatever, I'm gonna buy it. So I did, and the shade Trust Issues is really, really pretty, and I love like the deep purple, and then this is like a deep sort of like pinky mauve shade. I don't know, they're good shades, and so I went ahead and grabbed it to add to my Anastasia collection. And the packaging is really cute, and it's like this like soft sort of, it looks almost like alligator print sort of situation going on. This palette I wanted like as soon as it came out. I loved the whole vibe. I love anything that's like beachy, and this is like, obviously the stripes and the colors is like very like nautical to me, and the like feeling of it feels almost like, I don't know, like a beach bag or something, and I was like, oh, living. And then the shades were gorgeous because I loved that it's like a perfect kind of summer palette. I bought it when I was working at Ulta, so I had my discount, but I was like, hand this over, because this came out and the Dewy Set setting spray came out at the same time, and that Dewy Set is like life, in case anybody is wondering. But I was obsessed with this palette, and that Monte Carlo shade I've used a ton. If y'all can tell, I like me like some soft pink shadows, obviously, but super pretty palette. This shade Mediterranean is like this periwinkle, you know what, for fun, I'll swatch it. It's like this periwinkle purple, I don't know, but like, how pretty is that? Like, come on now, that is gorgeous, right? But pretty good little palette, had to have it. Just loved the whole vibe of the Riviera. Did I call it Rivera before? Good Lord. Grayson, get your life together. It's the Riviera palette. I just can't talk today. Okay, moving on to one of my favorite palettes of all time from Anastasia. This is the Sultry palette. It's a little dirty because she got really used. You can see that I have dipped into Pearl like a lot. I actually had a friend that I did her wedding makeup with this palette, and it was so gorgeous. Like, just this palette was like the perfect wedding look palette, and once she like got all done up and we got her lashes and everything on, she looked so gorgeous, and it's just a good palette. It's a good palette, and when it says sultry, like, it really means that it's perfect for like soft looks. And like I said, I did wedding makeup with this, so pretty. Love it so much. And then our other glitter packaging palette is the Amorese palette. And I loved the packaging on this. I thought it was so cute with the bright pink glitter and the gold. And then this palette actually has more shades than their regular palettes. I think it's just 2 more. Yeah, so you have 2 more shades in here than you do in the regular. Because these are, let's see, 14. So this is a 16. And this was a super gorgeous palette, super gorgeous shades. This Barb shade, I'm assuming it's supposed to be like Barbie, but it's like this pinky gold, like freaking gorgeousness. And this Liddy glitter is really, really pretty. I just don't want to get all up into glitter right now, but such a gorgeous palette, such a pretty color story. I love the little pop of blue right there. Just a good palette. But You see how like Anastasia's shimmers are just freaking gorgeous? That barb shade is actually so pretty. Now I'm like, oh, I want to put it on my face. Okay. See, we're only like 10 minutes in. That's kind of sad. And we're almost done already. Okay, so then I have, let's see. I have 3 of the the Norvina Artistry palettes. So this was the number 1 palette. They made these and I was like, wow, these are so big and gorgeous and I just have to have them. And the first one was this beautiful purples and nice, like you got some like orange. This shade is not showing up well on camera, but it's a very bright, almost like coral orange, which is really pretty. And what's the shade in here that I love? I think it's C2. This gold shade's really pretty. And then the mattes are super pretty as well. I like how I'm swatching like all shimmers for you guys, but Anastasia's mattes are really, really gorgeous too. Like, hello. Like that shade just went right on. That's shade B1, which is one of my favorite shades. I did one of my very first videos for my channel, if not my first video. It might have been my first video with this palette, where I did my easy 5-minute eye look and just use this palette to do a quick little look that looks like you've done more work than you have. That's when I was still doing my videos on IGTV. I did a good portion of my videos on IGTV, so if you want to check that out, you can head over to my Instagram at Beauty by Gray and check that out. I have tons of IGTV videos over there from before I switched over to here, but that is the first Anastasia Norvina Artistry palette that they came out with. It's the Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. There's my wonderful reflection, but that's that palette. I did not like Volume 2, so I do not have her because I would not ever use a bunch of blues and greens. That's just not my vibe. So this is Volume 3, and it came out, and I love the packaging, how it was orange with the cute little butterflies, but then this whole color story was just giving me like the most major fall vibes, and I've done so many orange looks with this palette because these oranges are just like freaking, I can't with how beautiful they are. So love this palette. That shade C1, that gold is super pretty. The yellows are gorgeous in this palette. This neon up here is like super duper bright, and this green shade down here is just, I don't know, it's so pretty. But this was giving me like full on like fall vibes with, you know, pops of color and stuff, and I just loved this one. I almost bought Volume 2 strictly just so I had all of them, but then I decided that was kind of ridiculous considering I didn't really actually want it for what was in it, so I didn't. But guys, can you not tell me those mattes are just like so pigmented? Okay, I really want to clean off these swatches real quick. I keep my cellar water with cotton pads ready to go all the time because it's super easy when you're playing around to just get in and take off your swatches. Okay, and then this is our last palette, but this is my obviously most recent one. It's the most recent one that came out with. It's the Norvina Volume 4. I loved, let me get my toes out of the frame. I loved the simple, just solid packaging on this and how it's baby pink and there's no design on it. And I really wanted the launch edition box for this, so I got the launch edition box. So it has a box that the palette goes in that goes here. It comes with a primer, and then it's this beautiful like baby pink box. I have a video also on my Instagram that has a story to this because they sent me 2 of these when I only ordered 1, and they allowed me to keep the other one, so I got to give it away to my friend. But this box was just too cute. It has the heart. So for $5 extra, you get the pretty box and then a eye primer. So I went ahead and did that deal because I felt like it was super cute. And then this palette, the color story was just like are you kidding me? So the volume 3 was my favorite until this happened. And I was like, this is the most gorgeous freaking thing I've ever seen. And so this shade, this glitter down here, E2, is like this beautiful glitter that is just like, so it's very pearlescent. It's looking more gold on camera, but it's very pearlescent. And then we have the E3 glitter, which is like this like mixture of like purpley, like pink rose gold situation. And then I love this C4 lavender shade. It has like a hint of like some shimmer in it, but not very much. And then like the pink shade E5 is just like, oh my god, I can't. This whole palette, the whole color story was just screaming to me. There's A3. So pretty, like so pretty. And so I had to snag this up. I got it as soon as it launched. I don't think I've ever swatched this one. This is C1. It looks like it's more of like a topper shade, but that is really pretty too. I'm gonna have to dive into another look with this palette soon because I'm like, oh, hello. Because I used this shade on the first look that I did with it, like all over the lid, and it was giving me like full-on like birthday look vibes, and I was doing it around my birthday. So I was like, oh my gosh, so pretty, I love it. Now I'm gonna have glitter all over me. Love that for me. But sometimes you gotta sacrifice for the swatches, guys. But that is my full Anastasia palette collection. So this is the nice little box that this palette goes in. I've been keeping it in here because obviously I got the launch edition box, so I'm like, of course I'm gonna keep it in here. So it's all super cute. It goes in like this, and then ta-da! All of that for an eyeshadow palette. I know it's so extra, but there is, let's see, we did a palette count on the ColourPop, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 Anastasia palettes. I know there's quite a handful more. There were some that came out before I got into makeup that I just never purchased and was never super interested in. There was a couple that I really just, mostly it was color stories I didn't like, and I felt like their newer palettes, like the newer they are, their color stories got better. So that was just my opinion on that. I actually keep all of these like smaller palettes in a nice little palette organizer off of Amazon, and the Anastasia palettes have their own shelf. So most things that like I have everything all in one brand, it's either they have their own shelf or their own drawer. So like ColourPop has a drawer, Anastasia has a shelf, but it's all my Anastasia palettes. I hope you guys enjoy, like in between me doing reviews and stuff, me sharing my collection. It is quite large, so I do try to, like I said, I was trying to split this up. So this is our part 2 of our eyeshadow palette collection. I like doing these because it's fun to take out my makeup that I haven't really like touched in a while, because then I'm opening these palettes and being like, oh wow, I forgot how pretty that is, and maybe now I'll pick it up again and use it. So something fun for everyone, I feel like. Fun for me, hopefully fun for you guys. Let me know what you think of these videos. Let me know if you have any of these palettes yourself and what you love. If you love Anastasia, just sound off below telling me everything that you like about these palettes. Which one's your favorite? Which one was your first palette, or you know, just anything. What do you guys think of Anastasia, and what's your favorite palette? I love you guys so much, and happy Saturday, happy weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.